Good evening. My name is Maria Ntavarinou, and I am a PhD candidate at the University of West Attica in the Department of Early Childhood Care and Education. Today, we would like to present the study we have conducted and is entitled Fostering Citizenship and Wellbeing in Early Childhood Education and Care Through Play. As a starting point, it is worth noting that it is important to acknowledge that children's well-being begins from birth and forms the basis for future development. Play is not only a vital aspect of emotional and moral development, but also a pathway to active citizenship. Through play, young children begin to understand concepts such as fairness, cooperation, and shared responsibility. In fact, many of the core values associated with well-being, such as empathy, mutual assistance, fairness, and respect, are also essential components of citizenship. Therefore, well-being may be viewed as a foundation for cultivating early civic dispositions. The aim of this study is to explore early childhood educators' perspectives on the promotion of well-being and citizenship values through play in early childhood settings. Drawing inspiration from Heinekainen, we adopt a value-based approach to well-being that encompasses both personal dimensions such as empathy, a sense of belonging, and self-advocacy, and interpersonal ones such as caring for others and mutual support. Three main research questions guided our inquiry. One, which well-being and citizenship values emerge through play? Two, in which types of play do these values most frequently appear? And three, what practices do educators employ to support these values and what challenges do they encounter in doing so? Our theoretical framework is informed by literature that recognizes play as a primary means of moral development. Through it, children can learn what is right and what is wrong. Moreover, they get used to playing fairly, honestly, and correctly. They learn to play through genuine team spirit in order to win or even accept failure with grace and ultimately to persevere in the face of challenges. For children in early childhood settings, the connection between play and well-being is tightly linked since the core elements of play contribute significantly to their well-being. Through play, children practice essential citizenship skills such as cooperation, negotiation, fairness, and shared responsibility. Role play, group games, and rule-based game offer opportunities for children to explore social roles, resolve conflicts, and contribute to a shared community, all of which are foundational for a democratic life. Values are often considered an internal moral compass that guides people toward a balanced life. While traditional approaches emphasize the role of adults in directly transmitting values to children through the use of rewards and punishment, constructivist and cultural approaches view everyday interactions between adults and children as the space where meaning is created and values are transmitted. The concept of values is complex and when examining pedagogical practices and processes it is often linked to ethics and values education. Values guide human behavior and help people judge certain behaviors as acceptable or desirable. Many of the values associated with children's well-being, such as empathy, mutual assistance, fairness, and respect, are also core values of citizenship. By nurturing this through play and everyday interactions, educators help young children build the foundations for social responsibility, active participation, and ethical community engagement. To collect the data, we used a structured questionnaire that included both closed and open-ended questions. It was divided into three sections. First part gathered some basic demographic information. Second part focused on exploring which values related to children's well-being and citizenship emerged during play using a mix of Likert scale and open-ended questions. And in the third part, we asked educators about the practices they use to support these values and the challenges they face when trying to promote them. As for our sample, we used convenience sampling and gathered responses from 131 early childhood educators. The data were analyzed using a mixed methods approach. We processed the quantitative data with SPSS, while the open-ended responses were examined through thematic analysis to identify key patterns and insights. The findings from our study revealed several important insights. Firstly, the educators emphasized the interconnectedness of well-being play and early citizenship. Educators' observations suggest that well-being and citizenship are deeply interconnected. When children engage in play that fosters empathy, cooperation, and belonging, they do not only thrive emotionally, they are actively developing the dispositions of responsible, engaged citizens. Play becomes a context where children learn to respect others, resolve conflicts, express their rights, and contribute to a group, all of which are essential foundations of democratic life. One of the most encouraging findings that came out of this study is that overall, educators don't consider young children as being too immature to understand or engage with values related to well-being and citizenship. On the contrary, there seems to be a shared belief that even at a very early age, children are capable of recognizing, experiencing, and beginning to act on these kinds of values, especially when they are supported through meaningful everyday experiences like play. Regarding the first research question, which values emerge through play, educators rated 24 values using a 5-point Likert scale. Among the highest rated values were care and concern for others, social competence, companionship, sense of belonging, encouragement of others, collective effort, advocacy for rights, mutual assistance, and honesty. In response to the second question, in which types of play do these values emerge, educators identified several key forms of play, including rule-based play, role play, dramatic and symbolic play, outdoor and nature-based play, cooperative games, musical and rhythmic games. These types of play were seen as particularly effective in fostering social interactions, empathy, and mutual respect. Educators reported a range of pedagogical strategies for supporting values through play, such as organizing group activities that encourage sharing and collaboration, emphasizing rules and boundaries, reinforcing positive behavior. However, they also encountered significant challenges, including time constraints, frequent disputes among children over sharing or fairness, competitive behavior that undermines cooperation, difficulties related to collaboration with families and colleagues, managing diverse needs in mixed age groups. These challenges highlight the complex realities educators must navigate in their daily practice as they strive to foster positive social and emotional development through play while promoting essential values. Overall, the findings confirm that the values associated with well-being and citizenship are deeply social in nature. Children flourish when they engage in meaningful interactive forms of play. Educators, in turn, play a crucial role in creating inclusive, supportive environments that allow these values to emerge naturally. Importantly, the educators in our study also recognized the importance of collaboration both among themselves and with families, as a way to model civic behavior and reinforce key values in everyday practice. In conclusion, this study highlights that play is not only a source of joy for children, but also a vital space for the development of civic identity and social responsibility. By supporting children in learning how to share, cooperate, resolve conflicts, and advocate for themselves and others, early childhood educators are actively shaping the citizens of tomorrow. As such, play should not be viewed as a separate from moral or civic education. Rather, it is the very foundation upon which these qualities are built. Thank you very much for your attention.